Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for watching Traveling in Isolation during this coronavirus pandemic that the entire planet is dealing with right now. We're all stuck in our homes. We're not able to go anywhere. So I'm going to do the best with the resources I have, which is the internet, and that's really all I have in my home. So I'm going to use that to explore this amazing looking city called Mumbai, India, which was originally called Bombay, but in more recent times, it's now called Mumbai, India. So it's going to be very cool. I'm really excited about this one. So I'm going to jump right into this and I'll go ahead and make this full screen. The first place I'm going to visit is on Google Maps. And let me go ahead and bring up, oh, no, that's not it. That's not it. That is actually the coronavirus map, which is a lot less fun, honestly. Let's see, here it is. Here it is. A01. All right, so let's go here. This is Mumbai in the country of India, and I will go ahead and zoom out. It's an Asian country if you're not familiar with its location, which I think everybody should be by now who is watching this video. You should have a pretty pretty standard knowledge of where, you know, major countries like India would be located somewhere on the planet. I mean, obviously it's in Asia, so it's close to China, borders with Nepal, which is where Mount Everest is located. Doesn't have anything to do with India, I know, but there's Sri Lanka down there. So yeah, so it's, you know, you can see all the countries' names here on the map. And if I pan around throughout the rest of the world, you will get a good idea as to where Mumbai, India is. I think it's more relevant just to scroll in a little further here and zoom in and just show you where in the country of India that Mumbai is located at, which is, it's in central India on the west coast, similar to where I live in the state of Florida in the United States, which is on the west coast about halfway down the state. So anyway, all right, I will go ahead and zoom in here a little more, and let me bring up the satellite view here. I will go to Google Earth at probably near the end of the video just to try to get a bird's eye view as to what the city looks like. It's going to be kind of hard to do because this is a really, really large city. Tens of millions of people live here. I will get into the specifics here pretty soon. But yeah, this is pretty much this is what it looks like from a satellite view, and the red outline just it just shows you just the borders of the actual city itself. I'm sure the metropolitan area extends pretty well beyond this, I would imagine. I'm sure it includes this area, with this one as well, and maybe Navi Mumbai as well, and maybe even it might even extend out into these areas as well. But the actual city that I'm going to be exploring is going to be in this region. So all right, so now that you know where it is on the planet, let me go ahead and zoom out just a little more, just to show just a different view. And whenever I zoom out of this, and if you're not familiar with Google Maps, at least in the satellite view, these clouds are it's the actual cloud cover around the globe, which I think is amazing. I don't know how Google does this, but it is. It's legit. Like this is what the cloud cover would look like if you were in space right now looking at the Earth. So it's really cool how they're able to pull this off. I have no idea how they can do this, but anyway, clearly it's not raining in Mumbai right now. I will get into some of the climate data. As far as Mumbai is concerned, they get an incredible amount of rain during a certain time of the year. And it's incredible in terms of over 20 inches of rain in a month on average. Sometimes it's way more than that. It's incredible during their monsoon season. So yeah, this is going to get cool. It's going to be amazing. So anyway, all right, let me go ahead and get into the Wikipedia article here. And I will go over some of the basics and some of the information that details Mumbai. Any second now, I will get my, hopefully, yep, there it is, my highlighted information that I already highlighted for this. Okay, so Mumbai, it's also known as Bombay. That was the official name of the city until 1995, is the capital city of the Indian state of Maharashtra. I apologize if I'm not saying that correctly. If you watch the last two videos, you know I'm not very good with pronunciation of words. My apologies, but that's the state of India that Mumbai is located within. As per Indian government population census of 2011, Mumbai was the most populous city in India with an estimated city proper population of 12.5 million people living under municipal corporation of Greater Mumbai. Mumbai is the center of Mumbai metropolitan region, the sixth most popular metropolitan area in the world with a population of over 23.64 million people. That is a huge amount of people. So, like I said, it's going to be a bit difficult to use Google Earth to explore the city because it's just so vast. But I'll do my best. And I have never used Google Earth to explore the city, so I'm just going to do it, the best way that I can, and hopefully I'll point out some cool parts of it. But we'll see what develops with that, and that will be more toward the end of the video, after I've gone over all the fun facts and the information and travel information, how much a flight might cost right now, how much a hotel room might cost right now. I know with coronavirus going on, it's going to be very different than in the normal world. But nevertheless, if you're going to travel to India, I will show you how much it might cost, at least from my perspective, which is in Tampa Bay, Florida, in the United States. Because whenever I check out how much that it might cost to fly there, I always use just my home international airport as the jump off point, just to find out how much it might cost just to get there. So anyway, there's some pictures, and just like in the last two videos, I will go into the Wikipedia images and just kind of go over these over again. I know they're thumbnail sized right now, so I mean, clearly we wouldn't have to look at this and that one. Coat of arms, that's their coat of arms, by the way. But there are some other images here that we might want to take a brief look at, and it's a fairly long article, so yeah. So anyway, let's see here. So it was first settled, Mumbai, it was first settled in the year 1507. And there's some government information if you're interested. Again, you can just go to wikipedia.org and just, without even copying that and typing it character by character, you can just go to wikipedia.org and just type in Mumbai, M-U-M-B-A-I, in the search search bar, and it'll take you right here. Let's see here. So the area, it's considered a mega city, by the way, and it covers 233 square miles. Let's see, the metro area, it's comprised of 1,681 square miles. I guess you can round that up to 1,682. And let's see here. So the population of the mega city itself is 12,478,447 people. My apologies. And the metro area is, let's see, it's 18,414,288 people, but the extended area, I assume that includes, maybe regions beyond the center of the city, or maybe the immediate suburbs. If you comprise everybody that lives around Mumbai as well as in the city of Mumbai, it's roughly around 20,748,395 people. And the metro GDP is around $151 to $368 billion. I'm not sure why there's such a giant gap there, but it could be as little as that or as much as that. So the HDI index is very high, 0.846. And let's go ahead and let me see. I don't think I skipped over anything. Oh, yeah, I guess I did, didn't I? All right, yeah. So here we go. So the entomology. I'm just going to read just one part. And again, you could just go to this article and you can read all the details. It's a very long article. It would take a very long time to read all this. So I just highlighted some things that I thought might be interesting for this video. So the government of India is officially changed the English name to Mumbai in November of 1995. Before that, it was Bombay. So there you have it. All right, so I'm going to skip past the Portuguese and British rule. Independent India, again, very important. I'm sure it's very vital, but there's just way too much information here for me to cover, just using Wikipedia as a tool. So Mumbai consists of two district regions, Mumbai City District and Mumbai Suburban District, which forms two separate revenue districts of Maharashtra. I'm sorry, I can't say it properly. My apologies. That's the state within that Mumbai is located within. So getting into the climate information here. So yeah, I was off when I was talking about rainfall. Look at that, 28 inches, and this is on average in the month of July. 28 inches of rain for the month. So that's almost an inch per day. Their average rainy days for that month is 21 days out of the month. And this is the average relative humidity, the blue bar here that extends over all 12 months. So it's a pretty, yeah, I would say it's on the higher end. 62 is not that bad, but I live in the state of Florida, so we always have high humidity here. But 62 doesn't sound too bad, but 85 sounds about right. You know, at a time when it's raining almost all the time. The mean monthly sunshine hours in a month, and the sunshine hours, what would that be? Mean monthly. Oh, okay. Mean daily sunshine hours. So for example, in the month of January, they receive on average about 9.1 hours of sunshine per day on average. And then if you go into the month of July, they would only receive 2.6 hours of sunshine on average per day. So there's that information there. Let's see. So the average maximum temperature, I'll just read Fahrenheit. Well, I'll go with Celsius. Okay. I mean, look at these numbers. It's a hot place to live. 34.4 in January, 35 in June, 32, 31, 36 degrees, 35 degrees. I mean, that's hot. Very, really hot. Let's see here. So the daily average, like just average between the high and the low, would be this row of numbers here. And then the average low is 19.3, pretty comfortable. And then, 27.1 in May, that's a little uncomfortable. 80 degrees Fahrenheit for the low. I mean, it's a bit warm. So you get that range of numbers there for the different months of the year. And that's essentially all we got here. The average minimum, and then you have the record low, which is the coldest it ever got there. Average rainfall, we already covered all that. Average rainy days, things like that. So, okay. So anyway, air pollution is a major issue in Mumbai. And I mean, I guess the reason that I highlighted that was just because if you're not familiar with the city and you think by the end of this video that this might be a place you'd like to visit, just know that there is an air pollution issue here just because there's 20 million people that live there. Like what big city in any place around the world, which city of 20 million people doesn't have an air pollution problem? I mean, I'm sure probably 95% of them do have some sort of an air pollution problem. So I thought that was relevant for this video in terms of traveling there. Especially if you live in a city that doesn't have any air pollution, just prepare for some level of air pollution. Okay, so let's see. So this is getting into the transport section. So there's public transport, there's the railway, there's bus transport. They do transportation by water, so probably ferries and whatnot. Road transportation, they talk about highways and expressways and things like that, as well as air travel and sea travel, because it's a port city. So there is sea travel involved as well. And I will come up here and just read my highlighted sections here. So pertaining to the railway, the Mumbai Suburban Railway, popularly referred to as locals, forms the backbone of the city's transport system. And yes, let me just click on it. Oh, it's a tiny picture. That's a bummer. But yeah, these railway stations get incredibly crowded, big time, incredibly crowded. So let's see here. I'm just seeing if there's yeah, so here you go. Mumbai suburban rail systems carried a total of 6.3 million passengers per day in 2007. So it's a very crowded rail system. So if you want to travel by rail and visit Mumbai, just know that at least before the coronavirus hit, it was a very crowded method of transportation. So water transport in Mumbai consists of ferries, hovercrafts, and catamarans. Services are provided by both government agencies as well as private partners. And then going back down here to the sea area, Mumbai Port has one of the best natural harbors in the world and has exclusive wet and dry dock accommodation facilities. So I think that kind of pertains more to business things than it does to tourism. Okay, so next section is going to be architecture. The architecture of the city has a blend of Gothic revival, Saracenic, Saracenic, I'm sorry, I can't say that right, Art Deco, and other contemporary styles. Most of the buildings during the British period, as well as the Victoria Terminus and Bombay University, were built in Gothic Revival style. Mumbai has by far the largest number of skyscrapers in India, with 956 existing buildings and 272 under construction as of 2009. Well, I'm sure as of now, as of 2020, I'm sure all 272 have been completed, I would think. So, you add those two numbers together, I would say roughly that's 1,200 skyscrapers they have in that city. That is unbelievably, I could not imagine seeing a city with that many skyscrapers. That'd probably be like visiting like Tokyo, which they call the vertical city in Japan. All right, so let's see. In this area, in the demographics section, Mumbai suffers from the same major urbanization problems seen in many fast-growing cities in developing countries: widespread poverty and unemployment, poor public health, and poor civic and educational standards for a large section of the population. With available land at a premium, Mumbai residents often reside in cramped, relatively expensive housing, usually far from workplaces, and therefore requiring long commutes on crowded mass transit or clogged roadways. So that explains why people have to pile into these trains to get to where they need to work. Mumbai is the noisiest city in India, ahead of Lucknow, Hyderabad, and Delhi. So as far as the language, there are 16 major languages of India that are spoken in Mumbai. And you can probably get a good idea of the different types of languages if you read this brief section here. And I'm going to go straight down here to the culture section. Mumbai's culture is a blend of traditional festivals, food, music, and theaters. The city offers a cosmopolitan and diverse lifestyle with a variety of food, entertainment, and nightlife, available in a form and abundance comparable to that of other world capitals. Mumbai's history is a major trading center that has led to a diverse range of cultures, religions, and cuisines coexisting in the city. The unique blend of cultures is due to the migration of people from all over India since the British period. Mumbai also has a large number of cinema halls that feature Bollywood, Marathi, and Hollywood movies. Contemporary art is featured in both government-funded art spaces and private commercial galleries. Mumbai has a zoo named formerly Victoria Gardens. Now it's been given a proper Indian name. And it also harbors a garden as well. That's pretty cool. Okay, so here, Mumbai residents celebrate both Western and Indian festivals. The Kala Gauda Arts Festival is an exhibition of a world of arts that encapsulates works of artists in the fields of music, dance, theater, and films. A week-long annual fair known as the Bandra Fair, starting on the following Sunday after the 8th of September, is celebrated by people of all faiths to commemorate the Nativity of Mary, Mother of Jesus, on the 8th of September. Very interesting. And it did say all faiths, right? Yeah, people of all faiths. That's interesting. Okay, so let's see. Beaches are a major tourist attraction in the city. The major beaches in Mumbai are the following, and I will give you a second to just cover all these different beaches that they have available in the city. And I'll just kind of count to 5 in my head, and once you've read those, then I will click on this image here. 3, 2, 1. And this is just one beach, very large. I mean, that's a pretty big beach, at least from what I'm used to. And that's interesting. They have like a lone tree out there. That's kind of cool. It definitely looks like they put on concerts. I mean, it looks like there's like concert lighting or something that's in those towers, unless those are like security cameras or something. So, all right. Let's see here. I'm going to skip past the media section, education. It's not relevant for tourists just visiting the area, in my opinion. Higher education. I mean, if you plan on living there, I mean, yeah, definitely you might want to look into some of this, especially if you're still relatively young and you plan on having kids one day. And if you want to move to Mumbai, that would be definitely relevant to you. Okay, so this is getting into sports. So I just highlighted just the main different types of sports that they have in the city. So cricket is more popular than any other sport in the city. Football is another popular sport, which is soccer. Not American football, but the actual football. In hockey, Mumbai is home to the Mumbai Marines and Mumbai Magicians in the World Series Hockey and Hockey India League, respectively. Badminton is also popular, and they have a paragraph dedicated to that. Actually, it would probably help if I did that, wouldn't it? Oh, great. Now I'm like way offset. Okay, yeah, there's education. I mean, it might be easier on your eyes, right? Like if I kept it skinny like this. All right, so I left off here. All right, so let's see, Kabaddi League, Pro Kabaddi. That's another sport that's popular in India. Rugby is another growing sport in Mumbai. Let's see here. Mumbai holds derby races at this race course with this little image here. So they do have derbies. The city is planning to build its own Formula One track, and various sites in the city are being chalked out. So hopefully that'll happen. I mean, that'd be really awesome if Mumbai had an actual F1 race, but I don't know how in the world that's possible with a city that is so dependent on mass transportation. I mean, good luck, but I'm sure that would be great revenue for that city to have a Formula One event there. That'd be amazing. So in 2004, the annual Mumbai Marathon was established as the greatest race on Earth. And Mumbai had also played host to the Kingfisher Airlines Tennis Open, an international series tournament of the ATP World Tour in 2006 and 2007. So the Mumbai Marathon, I assume that's running, right? Yeah, obviously it is. I mean, that's their logo. And then the Tennis Open, Kingfisher Airlines Tennis Open. I think we know what sport that is. And then, so here's the list of the regional and professional sports teams from Mumbai. So it's pretty extensive. So they've got a lot of teams, and they established them in the following years. So if you take notice, since year 2000, all but 2 have been established. I mean, that's really incredible. It just shows how quickly not just Mumbai, but the entire city, or the entire country rather, of India is exploding, and not only their revenue, but just skyrocketing. They're skyrocketing themselves into the first world, essentially. I mean, they're really getting up there really quick. I mean, I would say, I don't know. I mean, I'm not an expert on these kind of things, but I would assume that, give or take maybe 5 years, I don't know, maybe 10 years or so. I mean, just looking at these dates being as recent as they are, I mean, India is going to be a real player on the world stage. I mean, they already are, but way more than they are right now. So, I mean, I'm sure in every field imaginable, they're going to be up there with the top countries in the world. So that's very admirable. That's really cool. So, I mean, why not? I mean, India's it's such a great country. There's so many people that live there. Just their fields of medicine, and now they're getting into aeronautics, which is incredible. I could just go on and on. I mean, there's so many great things that are happening in India right now. So, yeah, it'd be a very exciting place to visit, and their culture is so colorful. I mean, it's really incredible. Just their unique culture that they have there. It would just be, it would be an honor to visit that country for sure. Just unfortunate for me, I don't make enough money to, leave my country for Canada or Mexico. I mean, I don't make enough money to travel abroad, but still, it would really be fascinating to be able to visit a place so just so colorful and cultural and different from what I'm used to here in the U.S. All right, so that's the end of the Wikipedia article. So I will close out of that one. I'll maximize this out. I'll probably just leave that there just because. All right, so let's go over here and let's look at some facts. Most interesting facts about Mumbai, rather. So Mumbai is the wonderful city that is set on 7 different islands. And the description here, it says, I hope you are not connecting the city with the wonders of the 7 dwarfs. And if you do so, it's fine, because somehow these 7 islands make this one city, which is extremely beautiful and wonderful. The 7 dwarfs thing, I mean, hokey. I mean, come on. There's a reason why I highlighted the titles and not the text. And that's probably the reason. So my apologies if you have your roots in Mumbai, and or especially if you live there. I did not write this article. So anyway, Mumbai has the 6th best international cricket stadium in the world, which is really cool. They don't have an image of it, but I'm sure that that's a legit statement. I'm not going to be able to pronounce this, so my apologies. I'm American, so when it comes to the way that vowels are shifted and the way they're shifted here, I'm gonna butcher this. but it is the first railway station of India, which is pretty cool. And if memory serves me right, this thing was built in like the mid 1800s, or maybe even the early 1800s. I can't remember exactly, but it was built a really long time ago, and look how much time they must have spent building that thing. That thing looks like a cathedral. I mean, it looks like something they probably spent 75 years building. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. So it's commonly known as the CST, by the way, or the Central Station. So very cool. All right, so Entella is the second most expensive home in the world, just because why not? And it looks absolutely ridiculous in my opinion. I mean, I think if you're going to spend a ton of money on a home, I think I make it look a little better than like just a random assortments of like, shipping containers. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to dog on it, but still, I mean, it's the second most expensive house that's owned by one person on Earth. I mean, I think we all have a right to poke fun at it. I mean, I think instead of taking something that's worth like, no, I won't take the time to look that up. It's I'm sure it's a lot. I'm sure it's like $100 million plus dollars, but pretty crazy. But anyway, let's get back to better things here. So the Central Park in let's see, Kargar. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I tried. My apologies if I got it wrong, but I tried. It's the largest theme park in Asia, not India, but in the entire continent of Asia. And that includes Japan and China and all those other massive countries. If you're not familiar with Asia, which I think everybody should be, unless you are very undereducated, but it is the largest theme park in all of Asia. This one deserves a photo, not this one. I couldn't care less what that one looked like, but I want to see what this theme park looks like. I'm sure it's unbelievable. But let's see, it's in Navi, Mumbai, and it's the largest theme park in Asia, and is the third largest in the entire world. So I know that Navi, Mumbai, is east of Greater Mumbai. It's one of those suburban cities that was directly east of the main city. So if you can remember what it looked like on Google Maps, you might get a general idea of where it's located. Okay, so Mumbai local is the transport of more than 20,000 people. Let's see here. Mumbai's famous Dabbawalas. The Dabbawalas of Mumbai are extremely famous, and they are one of the best managed supply chains in the world. Forbes magazine even gave them an award for their managerial skills. That's pretty cool. The Taj Mahal Hotel was the first 5-star hotel in the entire country of India. Let's see. Oh, and it was built during 1903. That's pretty incredible. That might be one of the first 5-star hotels in the world. I mean, if it was built that long ago, that's pretty incredible. The coastline of Mumbai is 149 kilometers. Pretty long coastline. Definitely longer than where I live. Not the state, but my county that I live within. I mean, my state, I'm sure, is longer, but as far as like my local location, I'm sure it's not nearly as long. Okay, so the first bus service was started in Mumbai. That's kind of cool, too. I'm glad they left that for number one. The very first bus service in the world, on the planet, was started in Mumbai, which, wasn't it Bombay back then? I think it was still called Bombay back in 1905. My apologies if that's not correct, but yeah, the very first bus service anywhere in the world, 1905. I didn't even know that buses were built back then. I mean, that's incredible. So yeah, that's it. That concludes the fun facts, and I will go straight to the next one here. I think it moves a little bit quicker after this point, but let me just be sure here. This is Mumbai's official website for the city of Mumbai, which they call Mumbai City here. I'm sure that's the city's official logo. Maybe their coat of arms as well. I don't know. I mean, I know coat of arms is usually associated with UK, so it's probably not the same, but I don't know. It could be. I don't know. Obviously, they have the guidelines and travel advisory for the novel coronavirus. Of course, that's going to be on top because it is on virtually every website on the internet. So they do have news and updates. Of course, it's probably going to almost exclusively pertain to the virus, which it is. All 5 are. Actually, number 2 doesn't mention it, I don't think. But you can move over here to events. There's no events going on, at least not on this website. Tenders, nothing to display. District at a glance. I mean, they give you some quick facts about it. The public utilities, the tourist guide. I think that's what we're mostly interested in here is the tourist guide. Let's see. But then there is some general information that you can have access to. But I think a lot of it, like documents, like a lot of locals who live here would probably benefit from this site. But there is a tourism section here, as well as down here. So I don't know if it's exactly the same, but yeah, it is. It is. It's the same thing. More or less. They have an extra one here, but and that's pretty much it. Like they have helpline numbers you can call. Again, it looks like it's primarily for locals, but all right, let's see here. Find services. Yeah, again, probably local related information here, but for tourism, let me just check out places of interest here real quick. So the Kalaba Causeway is a place to check out. Bandra Worley Sea Link. Definitely looks like a sky bridge of some sort. Man, that'd be cool to cross that bridge. Look at that and see the entire skyline of hundreds, literally, no, over 1,000 skyscrapers. Over 1,000. I mean, I cannot believe that. That's insane. Juhu Beach and Kalagoda Fort would be cool to see as well. So there's some information here in this area. Tourist places, another place. Culture and heritage would be, I think that'd be the one I'd be most interested in. And then they have different temples, and then they have this area, or the mosque to visit, or a mosque. And let's see, culture and heritage. I mean, I'm sorry that I'm not intending on glazing over things. I'm just trying to move it quickly so I don't, make this thing last for 3 hours. So for culture and heritage, the Gateway of India, some information here. The Asiatic Library, the Kalagoda, the Rajabi Clock Tower, Mount Mary Church, Culture Mumbai, Bengaga Tank. So some information here as well. This can be found on Mumbai City, one word, .gov.in, and the IN stands for India, /tourism/culture-heritage. Oh, yeah, that's just that main. Here, let me go back to, I'm going to read this one more time. My apologies. All right, so if you want to go to the main page and go to the tourism section here and find where I was, you can start by going to Mumbai City, one word, .gov.in. Okay, that's it. Mumbai City, one word, .gov.in. All right, let me go to the next one here. Fumbling over my words, folks. I think I'll get better at this. All right, let's see what we're looking at here. Okay, so this is cool. This is Google Images. The only thing I typed in was Mumbai, India. That's it. And this is the result. If you go to Google, I think everybody is familiar with Google by now. They have an images tab you can click on. And if you search just using Mumbai, India, this is the result you're going to get. And there are some amazing pictures here. Very cultural, very iconic photos, I imagine. Just some really cool images here. Here, just give me just a second. I have to wet my whistle real quick. All right, folks, I'm back. And just real quick before I continue, I just want to mention that if you enjoy the music in the background, it might be kind of hard to listen to it because I try to keep it as subtle as possible. But if you hear any music that you enjoy and you want to know what the title is, who the artist is, just click in the description or click on the description in this video and just scroll down and I actually have every song labeled. And you can find, depending on where you are in the video, you can actually find the artist and the name of the song in the description of this video. So I just wanted to make that known. I do list every one. And I also give the links to the original videos on YouTube where I pulled these songs from. So I just wanted to mention that real quick. So anyway, I'll go ahead and continue now. So in this section, I just click on random pictures. I mean, that one is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, see, sometimes I might try to click on it to make it larger, but see, it always drags me into this website. Okay, this time it didn't do that. I mean, look at that. That is really cool. Sunset. See, here we go. Here we go. Oh, man. I know I was going to regret this. I don't want to subscribe to this. I'm sorry, folks. Google Images used to be way better. Now, whenever you click on an image, like it doesn't take you to the full screen image. Now it's taking you to the website where the image is hosted on. It's not my fault, folks. It's Google's fault. I don't know why they screwed it up, but Google Images used to be way cooler because now it's like some stupid split screen thing. I wish I could actually just take this split screen and just drag all this over so I could just see one, like a single list instead of three wide, but it's not letting me do that. So I'm only limited to this, little section here. But still, nevertheless, that is a cool image though. I mean, as small as it is, compared to the size that I could show you, which would be 900 by 506 pixels. It still is a pretty cool image. That is neat. Let's see here. I mean, look at these skyscrapers. They're just dotted all over the place. That is pretty incredible. Like and at least in American cities, they, for the most part, I know there's a couple of cities here and there that are kind of splitting their skylines within their metropolitan area. It's like where I live in Tampa Bay. The city of Tampa is on the other side of Tampa Bay from the major city that I live closest to, which is St. Petersburg. And St. Petersburg has a skyline. I mean, it's nothing like that. I mean, it would be more close to like that building, maybe this building over here. But it has like a central skyline in the middle of downtown. And the city of Tampa has a more pronounced skyline, buildings more of that size that are within their downtown area. So if you're on the right place of Tampa Bay, you can see two skylines. But as far as what I'm looking at here, it looks like Mumbai, they dot their entire landscape with skyscrapers. I mean, that is really incredible. It's very cool. So it definitely looks like a very complex city and a place that you could probably just absolutely get lost in for months, maybe years. It really does. It looks like that kind of place. I mean, just incredible. Just very gorgeous, and it's on the ocean, so that's really cool too. So you're going to get a lot of these beach images and coastline images of the city. So very cool. This might be one of those. I mean, I don't like to use the word slum. I don't like that, just because I think it's just not a good word to use. I mean, it's dehumanizing, I think, but I think that image, yeah. See, look, they call it urban hell. Which unfortunately Mumbai does have a large number of impoverished people, and they live in a very small, compact area with a high concentration of people. But you do see satellite dishes. I mean, at least I think those are satellite dishes that are on these buildings. So, but the point being is that you have some people who live in these nice, clean buildings with running water and this, that, and the other, and then you have places that the exact same humans, I mean, we're all human, and they have to live in much worse conditions. It's very unfortunate, but unfortunately there is a side of Mumbai that does have this, that it's definitely nothing to be proud of, and I hope that they're working on modernizing the entire city, not just those who have completed their formal education and maybe a college degree and they're able to live in a nice place like this. I hope that they're trying to move their entire population into environments such as what you might see in the background. So it is very unfortunate. But let's see here. Drone photos capturing the staggering inequality. Yeah, see, here we go again. I don't want to see that. I mean, it is important to see that. I mean, as visiting the country from a place outside of India, and like if you're coming from, I don't know, Europe or another place in Asia, maybe Australia, if you're a traveler from Africa, South America, North America, just wherever you are living in the world, there are parts to India that are very touristy, that are, sightseeing, just gorgeous places. But, the harsh reality is that there are places in the world where there's inequality. So it is really unfortunate. I mean, it's, I always try to make these videos just the best of what the city has to offer. But, you can't gloss over certain parts of humanity that do exist in some of these cities throughout the world. This isn't downplaying India at all. It's a very crowded country. There's over 1 billion people that live there. Their GDP is exploding right now. So, if that's a sign of good news, I think that really is that, hopefully 10 years, 15 years from now, I think that these areas will be very few and far between, I hope. But we'll see what happens. I mean, it's unknown times right now with coronavirus. I mean, we really don't know. I mean, people are worried in my country, in the United States. I mean, we're really worried as well. And I think, compared to other places in the world, it might sound laughable, but I mean, there's a lot of things that we're dealing with as well. I mean, but just know that everybody, not just certain places in the country or in the world, but the entire world is dealing with this coronavirus situation. And my intention of making these videos is just to virtually explore different parts of the world, and just kind of try to bring a tourist perspective. So if you're going to visit the city as a tourist, just there are some places in the city that you might enjoy visiting. But see, like this, see now these images are going to start to crop up in these videos, quite possibly, that just to showcase how far and wide that coronavirus has reached throughout the world. Yeah, it's very unfortunate, but that looks pretty amazing. That's really cool. That came up in an image previous to this. No, that's Dubai. I knew that was Dubai. I knew as soon as I saw. I don't know why I clicked on that. I apologize. That's not India. I'm sorry. Maybe I'll cover the United Arab Emirates. I don't plan to. Maybe I will in a future video if I run out of other more fascinating places to visit. Not to say that the UAE is not fascinating, but Dubai, it's a very elitist, first-class type of place to visit, which I could never see myself visiting there, so I probably won't use that as a location. But if I do, a year from now, I might put it up there. If I continue making these into the future, maybe it might find its way onto my video channel, but I don't know. But for the time being, that's not a place I would. I mean, I'd have fun. I guess if you're a millionaire, that might be a fun place to visit, but I don't ever plan on being a millionaire, so I would like to stick to things like this. Like, that looks freaking awesome. The Magen David Synagogue in Mumbai. I mean, the amount of time, that's the first thing that I think of. Like, how many years did it take to build that structure? I mean, it must have taken 30 years, 50 years to maybe put that thing together, as intricate as it is. You just don't see architecture like that anymore. Not in the 21st century. I mean, I'm talking brand new buildings. Here you go. Here's another angle. Oh, yeah, there you go. That looks incredible. And it's actually smaller than I thought. When you put this truck up against it, it's actually not as big as I thought it would have been. Pretty interesting. Okay, here's a good perspective of what they have to deal with in traffic in some parts of Mumbai. So very heavy traffic. A lot of people live there. Over 20 million people live in this place. That's half the population of the state of California in the United States. Just to give a little perspective. 20 million people is the entire population of the state that I live in, which is Florida. And to give that a perspective of distance, if you can picture the state of Florida, we have a panhandle, which means that the coastline of Florida kind of wraps on the west coast of Florida, it wraps around going north, and then it curves and heads over to the west for a ways, and then it finally ends before it hits Alabama. So if you go from that part, which is the farthest part of Florida, to the west, and if you drive from that place just in a regular, just a regular vehicle, you take it from the furthest western point of Florida, and you drive all the way down to the southernmost point of Florida, it will take you about 14 to 15 hours to get there, which would be Key West, Florida, by the way. So the state of Florida is a really big place. I mean, it doesn't look that big on a map, but it takes 15 hours to go from the westernmost point of Florida to the southernmost point of Florida, and we have the same population as Mumbai has, about 20 million people. So, you can only imagine taking the entire state of Florida and putting it into a city of only about, couple of thousand square miles. I can't remember the exact number from Wikipedia. I know that I mentioned it, but I can't think of it offhand right now. But it's a very, very, very high concentration of people. Just incredible. All right, so just another couple of images. Let me see if I can find a couple of really cool ones. That one's blurry. It's not loading anymore. That's the best it's going to get. Oh, that one's cool. Look at that. That's really cool. Very, very neat. Let's see here. The shoreline. It's very cool. Let me just click on a couple of other ones here. That's gorgeous. Those look like coconut trees. It is in a tropical area, so now see, I don't want to drift away from Mumbai. I want to stay within the city. So if you start to scroll down too far, you might start to hit other areas of India. Let's see. This appears to be Mumbai. Wow, look at that. That is crazy. All those huge buildings. That is crazy. It's incredible. And I mean, like this building, like, what is that? Probably starts on the second floor. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And so that's probably, what, 18 stories? Just that building here in the foreground. And just this one's probably 25. There's a lot of skyscrapers. It's crazy how many skyscrapers there are in that city. Over 1,000. That's insane. It's very, very crazy. So, let's see here. This is cool looking. Is that in Mumbai? Well, it's a small image. Here's another cool looking image here. That's gorgeous. Looks like they have like a giant screens on the side of those two buildings. Interesting. And that's about all I'm seeing so far. I mean, if you're following me scrolling down, you can kind of read what the image titles are. Not all of them are from Mumbai, but it looks like the majority of them are. So very interesting place. So, all right, so I will go ahead and go to the next article here, or the next destination, which I believe, no, that's one we just came from. Apologies. Let's see here. We'll go and see how much it costs to fly there. All right. Now, again, it's coronavirus time, so tickets are going to be way cheaper because the airlines are suffering greatly right now. So we'll just have to see what it brings up here. So look at this. So in today's climate, again, coronavirus, this is not a normal time here. So this time last year, it's not going to cost what it costs in this video. So if I were to fly from Tampa to Mumbai, I'm going to make multiple stops, obviously. It looks like in this one, it's only one stop, so that's lucky. But it looks like that you'd be looking at around $1,257 round trip. $1,200. So it's like $600 to fly from here to India. Yeah, $600. That it's mind-boggling how cheap that is. I really don't think in a normal climate it would be that cheap. There's no way it could be. I could be wrong because I've never looked up flights to India before, but that just does not make sense to me. So anyway, that's about what we're looking at for the cost to fly there if you wanted to fly there between July 10th and July 17th. Now, I will say, just to keep things all, like noted, like I don't know what phrase I'm looking for, but I will say that in the month of July, that's, I think, if I can remember right from Wikipedia, that's the rainiest month of the year. So they get over 20 inches of rain during the month of July. So that might be somewhat of a normal price to visit that place because Mumbai gets flooded out like crazy in the month of July. I mean, there's some years where they have to shut the whole city down because it literally floods. The entire city floods out. So maybe the reason why it's so cheap may not be so leaning into coronavirus, but it might just be because of the climate that you might be dealing with at that particular time of the year. I would argue against it. I think that coronavirus is making flights cheaper everywhere, and I think that reflects into my Seychelles video as well as my Manaus video in Brazil that I did prior to this one. Flights are looking really cheap if you look at different cities around the world, so I just have to make that known. But maybe there is a chance that the reason they're that cheap is because I just picked July because in my first video, I kept trying to find dates and it kept saying not available. So I just left this up when I got a successful list of flights. And that goes for Manaus, Brazil. I started with Seychelles, and I just kept the dates the same ever since then. So I'm not going to change them unless this list turns up no results. But so far, so good. So if you want to travel to Mumbai in July, and if you see this video pretty soon after I put this out there, that's the price you're looking at. Okay, so let's look at the hotels. Let's see how much hotels would cost. Again, coronavirus might play into how much the hotels are going to cost. I don't know for sure, but But nevertheless, I just think that it would be interesting just to know that if you plan on traveling there right now, um, these are the rates that you might be looking at. Manaus, Brazil was insanely cheap. I cannot believe how cheap it was to go to Manaus, Brazil. Like unbelievably cheap. And they had great hotels there, like spectacular hotels. Again, coronavirus is probably playing into those to an offset of those costs. But I mean, that looks pretty reasonable. $150 a night. That's not too bad. I've paid $150 a night for a hotel. Not much more than that, but I've gone that far before. $88 a night. Look at that. Looks gorgeous. A great looking lobby. That's really nice. Holiday Inn, Mumbai, 76. That's pretty average for Holiday Inn, I would say. Looks like the Marriott, $131. And then you get into other hotels here, Hilton, Grand Hyatt, things like that. A lot of ones I'm familiar with. They're all American companies, but very reasonable. I mean, we're not in the $300-$400 range, so it's absolutely reasonable to visit. I mean, look at this one for instance. It's only $22 a night, Hexa Crescent, and it has a 4.0 out of 5 rating with 5 reviews, and they offer free cancellation, which is cool. And then they also mentioned that it's only a mile away from the international airport, which is definitely something that you might consider. Me personally, when I travel, I try to get away from the airport. I try to just get down into the city, just, like down to the local level, so to speak. Not really at the airport level, but more down into the city area. But, $22 a night, I mean, that'd be hard to pass up because, I mean, instead of staying here where it's $111, you can stay here for $22 and you can use that extra money for transportation and go probably anywhere in the city you want to go. So anyway, see, $5. I mean, incredible. 1.12 miles from the international airport. So maybe it's not the best. I mean, it may not be the best area of the city to go to. Maybe that's why it's so cheap. I mean, $5 a night. I mean, to me, that sounds straight up sketchy. I mean, like in the United States, if you're paying $30 a night for a hotel, it's a seedy hotel. It's, it's dingy. It's in a bad area. You might get robbed if you leave your hotel room, that kind of thing. But I mean, it's got a 4.5 out of 5 review. It only has 2, but the images look nice. I mean, it looks nice. Apparently, it's the only. Okay, here's another one. It's a twin bed, but maybe that's the thing that they got. Oh well, no, there's bunk beds. No, actually, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I don't know. I mean, maybe it's cramped quarters. Maybe it's. I mean, they got. There's a private bathroom. So I know that there's some like hostels you can stay at where you don't get your own private bathroom. So that's why it's so cheap. Like you like everybody uses the same bathroom on one floor, but it doesn't look like that's the case. It could be, but I mean, there's $10 there, $30, 27. So it's very reasonable to stay there in the month of July. And again, that it might play into the wet season. It might play into the monsoon season where they're getting over 20 inches of rain a month, and nobody goes to Mumbai that time of year because it's just torrential rain all the time. And there might not be anything that you can end up doing because everything might close that month. I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, so that's kind of the prices we're looking at for the summertime. Let's see here. Let's move on to the next thing. Now I think I'm going to have to move down. This is this is it. Now we're going to go take the Google Earth experience and explore it the best way that we can. It takes a moment to load up Google Earth, so just bear with the website. Hopefully it'll load up fairly quickly. I don't really have anything going on. I disabled my VPN just to make it run as fast as I can for the moment. So let's see what happens here. In a future video, I plan on using just standard Google Maps to do some Google Street View explorations. But Google Earth, it's just been fascinating to use. So I haven't really had the need to visit. Oh yeah, this is from my previous video, so my apologies. Let me X out of this, and I'll just go to... No, I did it again, didn't I? Dang it. I didn't mean to click on that. No! Zoom out. Zoom out! All right, there's the planet. Oh, okay, okay. There's the search bar. My apologies, folks. I didn't see the cursor blinking there. I was just clicking on it because I figured it was already filled in from the last video I did. So, okay, so let's do Mumbai, India. And let's see where that takes us. Should take us exactly where we want to go. Here we go. Hold on to your hats, folks. All right, now we are looking at Mumbai, which is how I started the video, but I used just standard Google Maps. So let me X out of this. Hopefully it'll get rid of the red. Yeah, I think it did. Okay. A lot of hospitals for some reason. That's kind of strange, right? All right, so let me bring it down into 3D. That's how I like to do this. Let me double click, or wait, hold on. Let me double click. There it is. Okay, that's what I was planning on doing. Okay, so, uh-oh, did I lose Mumbai? I think I lost it. Yeah, I think I did, didn't I? Oh, no, I didn't. Here it is. Here we go. Here we go. All right, we're good. We're good. All right, in the city of Mumbai, it goes all the way down here to the bottom of this peninsula. So let me just reset my north, and let me just start zooming in here and just see what we can locate. All right. I don't know how current Google has with the topography with Mumbai. So there's over 1,000 skyscrapers, but I kind of came across this issue with Seychelles. Like virtually every building was just flat like paper, like what you're seeing here. Clearly, this is a tall building, but we are in 3D right now, so it should be showing some 3D aspects to the city, but it's not doing it right now. That's very frustrating because when I visited Manaus, Brazil, there were many buildings that were 3D. So I don't know if maybe Google hasn't imaged Mumbai properly for Google Earth. They really should, given that it's a city of 20 million people. Far, far bigger than Manaus, Brazil. I mean, I'm just saying, Google, if you're listening, you definitely should consider re-imaging Mumbai. So, a lot of hospitals. A lot of hospitals around for some reason. Here, let me do this. Let me try to pan this down a little bit. I've been having trouble with this. Let me see if I can just. There's an airport there. It's temporarily closed. Uh-oh. Coronavirus, maybe. See, so you can kind of see the mountains off in the distance, and that kind of reflects the 3D aspect to this feature. So this is. I think we're close to like northern, maybe northeastern Mumbai at this point. Yeah, we kind of are here at this point. So we go ahead and move a little bit further over here. I mean, I don't know why Google is doing this in terms of their quality. Now, it clearly looks like that suburban Mumbai is way better in terms of their quality. Again, not much 3D, but when you get into here, it's just very purple for some reason. I don't know if it's an air quality issue that they were dealing with at the time that they were imaging this. That could be a possibility. I don't know, but this is clearly a very different looking landscape here than it does look like when you're getting into the actual city itself of Mumbai. But I mean, again, they flatten the buildings. I mean, this is a bummer. I mean, to be honest with you, I might actually just have to go into Google Street View. I do like this aspect of bringing it in 3D and showing just the horizon, so you kind of get like the best 3D look you can get. But we're not getting this, folks. It's not happening. Google really dropped the ball on Mumbai. I mean, come on, man. Google, like for real? I mean, this is a mega city. It's literally it's considered to be a mega city. So why are you not showing Mumbai in the way that you were showing other cities that I've covered in the past? I don't understand that. But that's Mumbai. I wish it would look better. I'm sorry, folks, it doesn't. But it's an absolutely giant city. It's absolutely huge. All right, so let me do this. Let me see if I can center this. Now, Mumbai goes pretty far north. So let me at least see if I can just do this for you. I mean, since we're not getting the 3D aspect in the way that I was hoping to. Let me zoom out here just a little bit more. Okay, so this is the very, very bottom of the city of Mumbai. They keep mentioning Navy. I don't know if this is like a naval base. I don't know. But anyway, let me just slightly zoom out here. And then I will start to move my way up north, so we kind of have like an airplane's view, not really a bird's eye view because we're too high up right now, but see, like we've got a pretty good view going on here, right? I mean, it kind of seems okay. So it's just kind of a bummer that, you know, I mean, I guess to some extent, like if you're looking at the mountains out or the hills and the mountains off in the distance, I mean, yeah, I guess you get like the natural features. I mean, this is probably just a flat part of the country, being that it's on the coastline. But I mean, it's a very big city. I mean, you can get a good idea, like all these little like white spots and stuff. I mean, these are all buildings and apartment complexes and things like that. The only unfortunate thing I will say is whenever you're seeing like these blue crowds around here, those are generally the low income areas that you might find on Google Earth or on Google Maps. And it is, I mean, like there's millions of people that live in these areas. I mean, I've noticed that these blue topped buildings tend to be those areas that are low income, unfortunately. But there are a lot. So when you scan through, there's quite a few of those locations in those areas. But all right, so let me go ahead and move up here a little more. And clearly there's a couple of main highways. Let me move over here and just kind of zoom in and see what we're looking like with traffic. I mean, traffic looks pretty open. I mean, yeah, it kind of backs up here. That's probably a toll plaza. That'd be my immediate thought. But India drives on the left, don't they? Yeah, they do. Yeah, you can see the windshields here and windshields there. So they do drive on the left, which explains why it's bottlenecking there, because it's definitely a toll plaza. I'm sure it is. So that's definitely an expressway of some sort, which goes off into that direction. And then we get this other highway. Or no, that's not even a highway. Is that a rail line? I think that's a rail line. Yeah, that's totally a rail line. Yeah, there you go. There's a train. A train. I was trying to think of like a subway, or I mean, I was trying to think like what's the above subway called? I can't remember what that's called. Like a tram? No, it's not a tram. But anyway, all right. So let me go ahead and move up a little further here. So this is like getting more and more suburban because I mean, here, let me do this. Let me see if I can spin this around and see how far away we were from where we came from. That seems like a good idea. Look at that. You can't even see the coastline from where we are. I mean, that's how far away we are from our original spot. Okay. Yeah, see, like clearly we're on the outskirts of Mumbai at this point. All right, so let me go ahead and spin it back around. Just see how much further we can go with this. I think once we cross the river here, Visai Creek, which is not a creek, that is a full-on river, but all right, we'll call it a creek. Once you get beyond this, and that's a pretty, I mean, at least it seems like a pretty, well, no, there's no cars on it. I don't know. Google's weird. They're trying to eliminate cars from the road. So like maybe I don't know. I don't know if they're artificially removing them or what, but there's some city images that I've looked at least in the United States, like where you would zoom in, and it's happening in my area in Tampa Bay, that they're removing cars from the highway. It's kind of weird. Like all the highways look empty. It's kind of strange. But anyway, I think maybe that's something that they did here. I mean, I could not imagine the government establishing such a bridge of that magnitude and a rail system with literally nobody crossing it. That doesn't make sense. But I mean, at this point, we're like well beyond Mumbai, I think. I think now we're getting into other cities. Even the quality is not, I mean, it's not great. I mean, that's the rail lines. But all right, so let me do another hard zoom out here, and I'm going to spin back around and look back to the south, because we were looking north. So now we're going to start to look more to the south here, and I'm just going to do a quick overview of the city. Why are they highlighting so many hospitals? I don't understand that. That's just kind of weird. I'm not sure why, but rest assured, if you have any health problems, okay, and I guess if you're lucky enough to have insurance, you've got this virtually limitless supply of hospitals to visit. That's kind of strange, Google, Not sure why you're showing me all these hospitals when I'm just here as a tourist. But anyway, yeah, this is all Mumbai. Looks like their international airport is here, clearly. I mean, that's a massive runway. That's absolutely huge. I mean, look, like the ocean's here. And look how long this runway is. It runs from, oh, now it's all cropping up here. Well, behind Rain Hospital there. Yeah, there's where the runway starts. And it goes like all the way down. That's crazy. That is a massive runway. So, and then obviously you see the airplanes, over here in the terminals. So, pretty big. So then we keep moving down, and obviously, yes, I mean, obviously there's a lot more of the city, if I move off this way. I mean, it just goes on and on. It's a very, very big city. I'm sure those are wetlands or something like that, maybe nature preserves or something. And yeah, that's getting back down to the bottom. I mean, clearly, I'm sure that I'm missing very vast areas that I'm just skimming over. I've never been here, so I'm not too familiar with it, with Mumbai, but it's definitely a place I would love to visit someday. It's just a very hustle and bustle kind of place, which I do enjoy visiting. And I guess that just basically concludes the video. I guess, since the quality of Google Earth was just substandard, in my opinion, I mean, it really wasn't all that great. I will actually just take a few more minutes and just go to Maps. And I'll check a couple of like street view views. I mean, I live in Seminole, Florida, which is here. So, which explains why. I mean, I guess if you want to know where I live, yeah. So, again, 20 million people live in this area here, 20 million, just like Mumbai. So if you drove like from Pensacola here all the way down to Key West, which is located here, it would take you about 15 hours to get there. 14 hours, 15 hours, depending on how fast you are at driving. But yeah. Anyway, all right, let's get back to the point here. So let's head on over here to Mumbai. Here we go. So let's take a look at the whole city. Now we're not on Google Earth anymore. This is a different perspective. I'll actually move it to satellite here just to make it look a little similar. Actually, I'll even take it another step and do 3D. I mean, that's the best we got for 3D. I can't actually flatten it like you can on Google Earth, but now I don't know any of the tourist destinations. I don't know any of the hotspots. I don't know any of the shopping districts or the places that would be best to check out. Honestly, it's just going to be a matter of just randomly clicking somewhere. So let me pull up Street View here. They don't have Street View? You have got to be kidding me. One of the largest cities in the world and they don't have Street View? Okay, folks, look at this. This is complete bullcrap. All right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the language, but look at this. All right, hold on. Street View. Look at this. That is despicable. What is going on, Google? Hold on. Look at this. Look at this. You'll see what I mean when I hover over Europe. Yeah, see? You see what I'm talking about? Now, Germany, I don't know why Germany and Austria, like, there is hardly any. I don't know why Germany is so anti-Google. I mean, I thought they were a pretty free country now. Same with Austria. Bosnia, I mean, I guess I could get it. Serbia, I guess. Kosovo, I guess. But look, Hungary, Romania, Slovakia, Poland, Chechnya, Luxembourg, Belgium, Netherlands, France. I mean, just, take your pick. I mean, they're all, look at this. Even Norway, Finland, they're completely covering it. Russia, man, they've even got Russia covered. But they don't have India covered? Are you kidding me? Look at this. Oh, that's insane. Bangladesh, they got Bangladesh covered. Dude, is it Google or is it India? Like, what's going? Look at Thailand, man. Look at that. Like, they have extensively photographed Thailand on Street View. Incredible. What is this? Laos or no? Of course, it's not going to tell me. I thought that was Laos. I'm probably wrong. I don't know. Anyway, that's ridiculous. I don't know. But I mean, India is like, it's by and large untouched as far as Google is concerned. And I just cannot believe that, especially Mumbai being such a massive city. And there was so little that they have imaged. I mean, yeah, maybe with what they have covered with the images here, maybe I guess this might be the place where they would want you to look at. I guess I don't have any other choice, folks. I guess, All right, well, let me start here over the water here. That looks like a pretty nice place to look at. All right, so here we are. We're here on Google Street View, and we've got a lot of taxis, a lot of very small taxis. We're sitting here on a bridge. We got our views here. It looks, blue skies, nice and pretty. It looks definitely looks foggy. It might be smoggy, because there are 20 million people that live in this city. And again, I showed you the entire state of Florida, and the same amount of people live in that entire state. So it looks like that's probably not the. I mean, I hate clicking like this because it's just silly. They're building that building still. It's interesting. Actually, I'll give it a couple more clicks because we're getting into some congestion here. So maybe we might end up seeing something interesting. It's pretty cool trees. Look at that. That's pretty. It's very neat. Just to get a look at the flora and fauna of the area. Those are foxtail palms, I think. I believe those are foxtails. Yeah, because we have those here in Florida. Foxtail palms. It's pretty cool. Let's see. Moving on. Motorcycles, double-decker buses. I mean, they were under British rule until the year 1976, if I remember correctly, for the country of India. So it doesn't surprise me that they have double-decker buses because they were a British colony or British Commonwealth or whatever you want to call it up until the mid-70s. All right, so let me just go back and just see. I know where I was when I clicked on it. I think it stays highlighted. Yeah, it does. Okay, so I'm just trying to. All right, that's where I clicked on. I believe. Yeah, it was. So I kind of look at the topography. And like, what would be a good place to check out? Like maybe just to get a good view of the buildings. I mean, it doesn't account for the trees. It doesn't account for the traffic. Nothing like that. But see, like this might be okay. Well, see all the trees there. So if I click on that, it's gonna obscure the view probably. Well, here, let me just try right here. Let me see if this might look okay. Okay, it's wide open. Traffic, of course. Yeah, it's not. I mean, it definitely looks different, right? I mean, that looks nothing like the world I live in with these three-wheeled taxis and stuff. I mean, that's pretty cool looking. People on scooters or he's on a motorcycle, obviously. I mean, that's not a scooter. Another double-decker bus. I mean, that looks very UK-like. Cars making their rounds, making their turns and whatnot. Crowded for sure. Congested, huge intersection. Look at that. Where are the traffic lights? Are those the Oh man, look at that. Dude, that must be a nightmare. I mean, look, okay, so they are way up here, right? The traffic light is back here. How do they know when to go? I don't get it, because clearly those guys are trying to go that way, and there's no light here to tell them that because their light is there. Like, what are they doing? I don't get it. I don't know. There must be some method to the madness, but anyway, yeah, so what is this? I have to have tempo service. Okay. It's kind of cool. You got your little reflection triangle on your grill there. It's kind of cool. But yeah, folks, I mean, I could pretty much go anywhere at this point. I guess I can go down this way. Probably not much to see down there. There's looks like an office complex or a building oh man, look at that. You see that? See, now there's traffic everywhere. Now it's mayhem. I could go down this way. Now the traffic's changing because, I'm moving lanes. But I don't know. I mean, I don't want to spend too much time doing this because it's just, I mean, look at that. Look how far that goes. That's crazy. But, Let me just go back here. I'll do one more shot and then I'll cut the video. I'll conclude it. That's where I left off at, right here on the corner, because I figured there's less obstruction. You know, there's probably, look at this. This is like all, like per satellite imagery, all of this is still under construction because none of that was there before. But when I clicked on this image here, yeah, I guess there was a building there. There was, wasn't there? Yeah, okay. But anyway, I mean, I'll zoom out and see if I can catch a little bit more of street view. I mean, I'm kind of curious about this pattern. That's kind of strange. It's all under construction. You see that? There's like nothing there. Even some of these, like there's nothing here. So which is telling me that Google's satellite view is really old, that what we're looking at here is probably from like 15 years ago. And what I'm going to click on, if I click on this right here, I'm sure it's going to look crazy developed. Or yeah, I guess underground maybe. Let me click on this. This is going to be crazy. Oh, okay. This is like some person walking around. Dude, this looks cool. What is this? PepsiCo. Okay. PepsiCo, like Pepsi. Pepsi company. What is this? Is this like the convention center? Is it underground? I don't get this, folks. This is weird. I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on here. This is weird. It clearly does not look like it's underground, given the, you know, the roof pattern and the corrugated metal that's there. And the fact that people are walking outside. So the satellite imagery did not have this there. It almost looks like a convention of some sort, but nobody's here. Anyway, Nestle, I don't know what's going on here. I mean, that's not what I'm looking for at all. I mean, come on, what's going on here? So maybe it was just temporary at the time when they did that, but... Oh, excuse me. All right, so just click on this then. See what's going on here. Same thing? Yeah, same thing. It's all convention center stuff. I don't get it. Uh-oh, Google is supposed to blur his face out. Uh-oh, dude. You got caught on Google, buddy. And you're ghostly. Everybody's ghostly looking. It's very strange. This is really strange. What is going on here? See, look at these buildings. Those are long-term buildings. Those things are going to be there for a while. Is this part of Bollywood, maybe? Make in India. Sani Global. I don't know what that is. Quality changes the world. No, that's all construction stuff. Like they're advertising like this construction equipment. So it's totally a convention of some sort. But these buildings are not temporary. They can't be temporary buildings. I mean, look at this. Right? You see this? All right, so look. Make in India Center. All right? So if you're listening to this video and you're from Mumbai and if you're familiar with this area, why is this here, but it's not here on Google Satellite? My immediate reaction is that this is all brand new. Like they just built this in the last couple of years. That's my first thought. So, all right. So I'm going to zoom. Let me see. No, it's not going to let me zoom out. All right. So anyway, let me back trace. See, none of that was there. I don't know what it was before, but it's not that now. Anyway, that's about does it, folks. I mean, I'm sorry. There's not really much more that I could show. Google Earth kind of failed me as far as, you know, given the 3D experience of trying to zoom into certain places. Yeah, it's kind of disappointing. I don't want to showcase the airport. I mean, who cares about the airport, frankly? I mean, like, nobody cares about the airport. People only care about, like, the place they're going to. But yeah, that's basically Mumbai. And it is unfortunate to see just the like how easy it is to point out that you know, people who are well off live in places like this area here, and then you see these like extremely compact areas. This area, I mean, they call them slums. They do. You know, where the impoverished live, like all that. And if you zoom in on it, it's, you know, it's just a mess of just like each little square is where somebody lives with their family, and the streets are not defined very well, if at all. Um, it's just a jumbled, put together collection of homes without really any, you know, defined infrastructure. And I'm sure that there's some of these areas that don't get proper electricity or running water and things like that, which is it's definitely a shame that the Indian government doesn't step in and give them the proper utilities that they're entitled, that I think they're entitled to as humans, obviously. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Um Yeah, okay. Anyway, just to finish off, the last thing I'll mention before I just conclude this video, there is a movie that's called Slumdog Millionaire that actually came out back in 2008, and most of the movie took place in the city of Mumbai. Not most of it, but some of it took place in Mumbai. And other parts of the movie took place just around India as a country. So if you're looking for a movie to watch as an American, you know, or if you're from India, you can also watch this as well. I'm sure you're familiar with the movie, but if not, you know, it's out there. Um, but there are some Hindu subtitles. I mean, like they speak Hindu in some parts of the movie, and then they give you English subtitles. My apologies if I don't have the exact language correct. But I just wanted to mention that movie's out there. I definitely knew about this city way before then. I mean, I'm 35 years old, and this movie just came out like what was that, like 12? So, but yeah, it's a very fascinating city. It's really cool, and I really hope I get to visit one day. But um, just I don't know. I mean, I've never lived here before, so I can't really say that you know, if you watch the movie that I mentioned, that's the Mumbai you're going to see, because it's probably not going to be the Mumbai you'll see, because it's from the perspective of somebody who grew up in a slum community. I hate using that word. That word sounds so terrible. In an impoverished area. So anyway, if you haven't seen it before, check it out. It's really good. It's a great movie. You know, it shows a person who was born in a very impoverished area, and they struggled really hard and they worked really hard to get to the point where the climax of the movie took place, and that is the point where, spoiler alert, that he won $1 million, and it was really incredible. It was a great, you know, from rags to riches type of story, and the movie took place in Mumbai, and I believe it's an American movie, but they did, like, the entire cast. I believe the entire cast, including the ones that lived in the impoverished areas, were from Mumbai. So it's really cool. So they did use actors in the Mumbai area, which, by the way, Bollywood is in Mumbai. So that's also something to mention as well. I mean, since I'm talking about movies, and I don't know if Bollywood is still making as many movies as they were a few years ago, but they apparently make more movies than Hollywood, California, and the United States makes. But that's just something that I heard on the internet. I would believe it, but especially because the population of India is like 3 times the United States. So I'm sure they make more movies. But anyway, I guess that's just going to wrap it up there, folks. I'm just going to go ahead and zoom out here. Let me click out of the Street View thing so I can get rid of all those blue dots. And that's India, folks. India. That's a beautiful country, amazing country. It's so cool. And they got Nepal up here to the north. You know, I guess the last thing I'll mention, as far as, like, you know, geology and things like that, India used to be an island all by itself out here in the Indian Ocean, and as the millions of years wore on, India moved through plate tectonics. It moved further and further north and crashed into Asia, and it crashed into it so hard, it's still, literally still, right now, it's still crashing into Asia. And that's what formed the Himalayas, which is where Mount Everest is located, the highest point on Earth. And That's why these mountains are so ridiculously high. It's because the entire country of India is still smashing into Asia as we speak. It is still smashing into it. So if you could see a literal time lapse of the Earth over the last, I don't know, 20 million years, maybe 100 million years. If you watch the 60-second time lapse of Earth from 100 million years ago until today, you would see the country of India literally crashing into Asia, like plowing into it. And then all of a sudden it would stop to present time. So yes, the Himalayas are still rising. They're not stopping anytime soon. They're going to keep getting bigger. But I thought that was a really interesting tidbit of information. But that's it. That's India. That's the video. I hope you enjoyed Mumbai. I hope you enjoyed the video. I did the best I could. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you like to see more videos like this, I'm going to publish more and more of them because I really enjoy doing this format of YouTube videos. So just check back, I would say in the next couple of days, and I will have a new one out for you. I think the next one I'm going to cover is in St. Petersburg, Russia. So I'd like to take a colder city because the last three that I did, including Mumbai, have been in warmer, more equatorial areas. And the next one, I want to go further north. I want to visit somewhere cold. So that's what I got in store for the next video. And until next time, stay very safe out there. Keep your mouth covered. Do everything you can. But the best thing you can do is stay indoors. Don't go outside. Don't go to the stores. I hope you have your food packed away, and I hope you can just stay out of the public for at least the next few weeks. Do whatever you can to protect yourself and your family. And yeah, again, until next time, stay very, very safe out there. Thank you so much for watching.